VP of Operations.
Yeah, I'm Connor and I'm CTO.
I'm Grace and I'm VP of Donor Relations.
I'm Emilia, I'm Asika HR.
Thank you. So here's a quick overview of the case KaBoom. So KaBoom is a non-profit organization with a clear mission. It is to make sure that all the kids, especially those in communities that they don't have like much resources or lower income groups, have safe places to play. They believe play isn't just a nice thing to have, but it's actually essential for kids for their health and their growth. So they are working hard to close what they call the play gap. So they do this through three main approaches, like red, lead, seed, and rally. A lead is where they directly go into communities and build playgrounds. In seed, they focus on empowering communities to take charge of their own playground projects. So KaBoom provides resources and support for them, but it's the community that drives the project there. And Rally is their advocacy, and they work to influence policies, pushing cities to make play-friendly places a priority. Now KaBoom wants to expand their impact even more. So the big question is, how do they do that? They're considering a few options here. One, they could focus on working directly with cities, building partnerships to make a large-scale difference. The second one, they could try to scale up all three strategies at once, which keeps everything balanced, but would need a lot of resources. Or three, they could pick one strategy, just like focusing on playground builds and put all their efforts there. So each option has its own upsides and challenges there. So our goal today is to figure out which plan makes the most sense for KaBoom moving forward.
Can you speak a little louder? Just so, because I'm not sure if the video can hear you.
Okay, so first we need to explore if focusing on cities could be the key to scaling KaBoom's impact. So what do you all think? Could city level engagement be a strategic approach for us?
I think it will be a great opportunity because like concentrating on cities could allow KaBoom to scale impact by influencing urban policy for play spaces, reaching more children in densely populated areas as well. And this strategy leverages city resources and prioritizes play in municipal planning, potentially catalyzing a ripple effect as more cities recognize the value of play infrastructure.
I agree with you from our HR department. What we are thinking about is the people and our employees. I think if we focus on cities, it will be easier for us to find some feasible volunteers and some fundings and a partnership with the business, find more partnership with a business partnerships.
I agree. I think in the finance perspective, I think it's a very good strategy. It involves working more directly with the city governments and allowing them more economic support in that way. It also would impact the policy level and the position of the playguards in the community. It's more sustainable as well because cities may continue to develop the playgrounds independently since they already have the policy which you're trying to affect.
Like I think like focusing with cities could enable more systematic change as municipal governments can commit to sustained investments in play spaces.
Another thing too is like essentially partnering with cities too. We might be able to, well, not necessarily convince them, but have it be a part of the partnership that they focus on covering maintenance costs, which they mentioned in the case. So that would just be another great way to like save costs for us.
I think this also kind of touches on like the donor relations part of this, like that would really, we've kind of mentioned it before, but the partnerships and stuff would kind of, I think, create some more opportunities to like get some bigger donors and have it more kind of like known to more like just different
like it will delay the bureaucratic processes for them.
Yeah, it could be used as a win-win situation. The
Yes.
government and the cities would be able to profit over this planned organization. They would fund it, but they would profit via image or via the resources or just improving their own communities. And we profit because we get the extra financial help. The plan actually continues and it skips a lot of the, as she said, bureaucratic red tape that there is. I would say there is one con that I found, that it might be hard to find the correct cities, or we would need to put an intention in finding the correct cities that have the budget and have the ability, or even would take it as a priority, or not even as a priority, but included in the priorities that it's taking. Some cities might not have the time or, you know,
They may provide limited or inconsistent support.
Yeah, exactly. The departments might not have the needed material, the needed resources to support them long term. So
Yeah, whether we can do like a market research in order to decide which cities are we focusing on. Yeah, and also on the PR part of the case, we can do PR campaigns highlighting the health benefits that the children would have with this playground.
It is a good strategy there, and our next consideration is whether we should continue with the lead, all of them, like lead, seed and rally strategy, and scale them as a unified approach. This approach leverages our comprehensive model, but it may require significant resources to expand all three simultaneously. So how feasible do we think this is, given our current resources and the capabilities that we have, the partnership and all?
So should we start by like covering the, just like the pros and cons of each strategy, just to kind of get our, right?
I mean, there's some pros that I found on maintaining and scaling the entire lead seed rally strategy. It definitely continues the creating a consistency and recognition of the program. It could create more of an image for them if they continue to expand. I found a few cons, but mostly it maintains the policy, the impact, and it can continue so that it helps them choose when, what, where. Basically, they don't lose control of anything while partnering with any other brands or any other businesses or companies or governments that would help them achieve what they're trying to do. But yeah, it would just be more direct, their influence, and continue with the consistency of the brand and the mission that they have already.
I could also said too, like this makes up most of their operating, like revenue or income, something like that. Which is important to know, just like for a decision later on.
It's going to be a good strategy to retain its holistic approach and maintain flexibility in addressing diverse community needs. However, I think that balancing resources and scaling each strategy effectively could stretch KaBoom's capability and lead to potential quality control challenges.
I was thinking that as well, like there's like the process to go through like each aspect, like with like the bunch of different teams and like the like 6 months like prior and 4 months prior they have to, so it does take up a lot of time and resources, and especially people as well, to just perform like that one section of like the lead part. So definitely is like pretty timely manner for figuring that out.
And also costly, because you are using all the resources for, maybe in some cases the city doesn't have the resources to build their own playgrounds, and if you are using our resources just like
Yeah, definitely, like because scaling all three programs will extend the resources of the KaBooms, for example, staffing, funding, and logistics support. So it will have, it will definitely increase the like cost.
Yeah. economic view and in the financial view, it definitely would need more marketing, more recognition. Like to scale up this entire strategy would require a lot more funding and a lot more recognition to receive that funding. So the very much a marketing strategy would need to be put in place and a promotion strategy as well. Make them known, try and find some more partners if we do choose a strategy, because it will be, as Camilla said, very costly to increase this. It's already very resource intensive and it would require more resources to scale up the strategy, therefore needing more financial help from the volunteers, all of the economic support that they receive.
Yeah, I agree with all of you, and I think this is a good strategy, basically. And for the KaBoom, this is an NGO organization. So what I think about is it's better for us to create a culture of play in communities. I think it will be benefit for everyone, kids, government, and the partner or partnership business.
I think the same if we go with that, we stretch our resources too thin, and also we will have to compromise on quality there. So, next. Finally, we need to discuss whether KaBoom should take a more surgical approach to the third one, focusing on scaling one component while modifying or discontinuing the others. The strategy could be a streamline our resources but might limit the full spectrum of our impact. So I would love to hear your thoughts.
Well, what I chose on the scaling of one component only is to scale up the seed program. I think that would have the most impact on the strategy overall. If we increase that overview and we extend the promotional side or the online profile, reaching more people, we could allow to gain that financial money that we need to scale up then other sections, or maybe reach more cities or countries, or
You can reach the
not countries, but
potential.
yeah, reach more of the potential, play more, build more playgrounds. Basically, I feel like that would be the component that would need to be scaled up.
I like the seed one as well, but I feel like it has a lot of risk associated with it. First time I read the case, reading through it almost seemed like franchising almost. And I mean, it's not, because it's not for profit, but that's how it kind of seemed. And I think franchising works with actual companies because people want to kind of piggyback off the brand and share in some of the revenue, which I worry will with this, because there's no revenue and you're kind of just doing it because you want to better the community and provide a safe space for children too. So this one really relies on the initiative of people and people doing most of the work, which would be good for KaBoom obviously, because they're doing it for KaBoom. But I just worry that focusing on this issue or on this strategy and kind of putting most of our eggs in this basket kind of creates a lot of risk, because as soon as people kind of stop wanting to do this, or they want to do it and they don't complete the whole process, just issues like that, then our whole thing starts to die off.
Yeah, the whole process kind of starts to decline if if not people aren't fully kind of committed to going through the whole entire thing.
And I think with so many things associated with the process, it's a natural deterrent for some people. For example, I may be oh, I want to, if this, we're in PEI, for example, I may be oh, I think that's a great idea, I want to do that in the summer or something. Or not even summer, right now. I know it's sports now because it's almost winter, but let's say it's September. If I wanted to do that, I think it's a great idea and I would do that and volunteer. But also being a university student, or if I was someone who's employed, I think it's an issue because for some people, because they're not getting paid for this, so they may prioritize like their career, family over something like this, and it'll kind of make the whole idea like bear down and like maybe come to a halt potentially. That's just my main concern with the seed.
No, I agree. I think it definitely prioritizes one over the other, and that might be an issue. As like just building on to what you had mentioned, I hadn't really thought of that as such a big con, but it really is. I think that I changed my mind in that aspect because of the risks involved.
Like I said, like I think it's a great idea. Like it's probably, if the assumption was it would work 100% of the time, like obviously this would be our go-to. Just because like who wouldn't want like people to like essentially do it for you, and basically like keep the same be under their brand basically, but it just is pretty risky. If we were to do like we are right now with the 3 different options, like we keep whatever option we choose, like having this still be a part of our website, like I think it would be like I guess stupid to remove it from our website because we do put in such little work for this where like other people are doing it for us. So I think it'd be kind of like a second option to whatever our main thing is. So I guess we can talk about like scaling for like, so does everyone like kind of agree with that? Like, okay, so I guess really it's to choose between, yeah.
What do you think what benefit our mission and resources?
I know that like the COO was like talking about building on like the rally one and had some like kind of points about that. So
yeah, I saw that. Well, I kind of thought that maybe a mix.
Yeah.
Because the rally strategy does focus some on cities. So maybe increasing the rally strategy to not just like what it is now, but including the first option of working more directly with city governments to incorporate the playgrounds in the public and city and health planning initiatives. Like that might be what we can add on to make it the most effective, because I don't think that option 1 should be the choice primarily, but I do think that it would be a great help if we included an option 2, just because it does give that additional support and that additional mitigation of risk. Because working with the governments and including yourself in the policy and in what you're doing and how you're building, that would basically force them to help or allow them to give more financial or view help. Like it would increase the visibility of this program as well.
I think it's important to mention too that like literally in like the first line of this, it does talk about inspiring people again to kind of, I mean, we could sit here all day and be like, because that's just how like it's kind of like charity works. Like people who want to do it are going to do it. People who don't aren't. I think this one is a little better than the other option just because the like city partnership idea, like or aspect of it, just because like I guess governments and like even politicians, for example, like promising to like build like a playground is relatively like low cost, and I feel like it increases like the public image, like or their public image. So
yeah, it's like a win-win for like them if they're like putting in this initiative that'll help them build how people feel about them, and then also help others as well. So
like it's cheap. They're getting something like, let's say they live as like a vacant lot in the city, or whatever. They're getting rid of like this like sort of vacancy. They're doing it for children and they're doing it for low cost. So I think like like I said, I just wanted to mention it just because I don't think it's as they're kind of on the same thing where like you have to inspire people to do it, but this one has a lot more incentive for people who plan on doing it, I guess is the best way to put it.
No, I agree, but I mean, they also use donors as a lot of the economic, well, not a lot, but as part of the economic help that they get. So increasing the brand and the image, well, not the brand, but increasing their image and their reach would definitely incentivize more people to donate, more businesses to donate, more companies, and even more funding from the government, because bigger organizations that are useful for helping and for children, they receive more government funding. So that would all be,
They're all like related in one another, like they all kind of tie in.
help each other.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like at last, it will also enable KaBoom to check in with the partners to check their progress and find the early challenges. And I think like showcasing successful case studies from supportive cities could inspire other municipalities to adopt similar initiatives.
Kind of create like a domino effect, you know?
Yeah.
So we all want to go for the first option here.
Yes, I think like we are pretty agreeing with city focus scaling. The first one.
I
Or
thought we
with
had
the
agreed
rally.
on scaling the entire lead, seed, and rally strategy, while increasing the rally strategy to be more
So you mean-
cooperative with the cities,
So
more
you
direct.
focus on rally or
Like focusing on rallies more.
just focus on one component or just
No.
focus on the whole strategy because we.
Yeah, the whole, I thought we had, I might be wrong, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we had discussed option 2, but including or adding on to the rally scaling opportunity by using some of the focus on cities.
Okay,
So yeah, so,
Okay.
but wouldn't that be like just scaling one of them, not
Yes.
the other? Yeah. So
Well, I mean, but still, I mean, that's what the differentiator would
Yeah.
be, because you'd still be scaling the entire lead and seed part of the programs, but as well as using the focus on city and including it to scaling up the rally strategies. So it depends, because we can choose either one of them and focus on the one rally strategy, like in option 3, and change it to focusing on the rally strategy. Scaling up the entire lead, seed, and rally strategy, or just focusing on the cities, which can be an option as well. So we've discussed them all, now it's just coming to a decision.
Cause so pretty much our 2 options are like to do the lead, seed, and rally like all together as a collective, or pick, cause I don't know if I'm reading this properly, but it's like scale one but not the other. So would that be like scaling rally but not lead and seed type of thing? Like that's what I'm thinking. And then adding a component of the cities, is that kind of I thought that's kind of where we were at, but I wasn't sure too.
If we're scaling like the whole strategy, like lead, seed, and rally, like does that mean we're doing it equally, or can we do something like where we scale like for the most part, like for example like rally and like lead, and then seed, like I said earlier, like we just keep that component of our business, but like we don't really focus on it.
I think it like mentions here we can like discontinue a component if it doesn't kind of like fit the plan. So if we wanted to like focus on 2 of them or whatever, I don't know what I was thinking.
We can also create a 4th option that discusses all of these points and focuses on things more specifically without forgetting other parts and programs of the strategy. So
Like a combination of everything.
yeah, maybe like a more personalized combination, finding like the best option for this nonprofit that maintains the image and the mission, but including the city's help while not putting an excessive amount of resources on the seed program without, because it removes from the actual brand image. So wording it. So does, maybe, does anyone wanna pick an option, or do we wanna create our own strategy that includes parts of all of these actions?
We can do that as well. That would be a good one, which we can come up with like the best of all those options.
I think an easy thing for us to cover right now, does anybody think we should get rid of any of them? I don't think we should get rid of any of them.
No, I think they all give their own important.
Yeah, they all
I mean,
have their like pros, I think, that add to like the whole entire process.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, they all work together. The lead focuses on building and finding the high-need communities and building and using corporate sponsors and blah, 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 blah. The seed introduces an online platform that provides the tools and the support for the community to build their own platform, playgrounds.
I think the only kind of scaling that Seed should get would just be like marketing.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, I think that really is just all you can do for scaling, but like, you know, I wouldn't, like that's all it really needs, like it is important, like, cause if people will go and do it themselves, then like great for us. But like, in terms of like anything else more than marketing, nothing I can think of right now, but like, I just don't think it would be necessary.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think, yeah, I definitely think that the marketing is one of the aspects that that I think is very important to include. People need to know about this, and the more people that know about it, the more your efforts can reach. And the more donations you get. So seed would be increasing marketing and publicity efforts.
Yeah.
And then do we also want to scale the rally as well, or are we just picking like one? Is that what we're thinking? To scale.
I think I was more leaning towards like scaling all of them, but just saying like Seed doesn't like Seed would be getting like the least amount of scale.
Yeah, okay.
And then, I don't know, Lead and Rally, I think Lead and Rally just like scale them equally, and then, yeah, and then Seed would just be like a little less.
But
I
we're, like,
definitely
scaling
think we
all
might need to scale Rally a little bit more than Lead. Just because Lead we can scale it more, find more communities, more cities that can use this help and that have programs to assist financially. But the Rally section with the city, I think, should have a little bit more increase, because there you can get a much bigger impact or financial help. You can include yourself in the policies and in the health and public safety, the kids' welfare, all of these policies. If you are included in them, if these efforts are included in them, I definitely think that we'd see more of a long-term improvement and a long-term continuous improvement. So I think maybe scaling Rally more than we scale Lead would be a little bit more effective in the long-term efforts that they're trying to have.
From my understanding, and it's a little bit hard to see which components should be pay more focus on, and because I think our cities, communities, and the project may be different. It should be depends on. But anyway, the first of all, and I agree we don't need to allocate our resources equally. Yeah, we need to do the project more flexibility. And but right now I don't know which component should be paying more resources or more focus. I have no idea. Actually,
I think they're kind
because
of.
I think the project is different and the city is different and the situations always changed. I have no idea.
I think that might have been what they were touching on a bit, to focus more kind of on like the rally part and then go like, is that where you kind of meant, or?
Yeah, maybe rally.
So like scaling mostly just like rally as opposed to like scaling all of them?
No, I just meant like in just more, some more than others, because which ones to focus on more. I think doing them all could be good, but just having not like you said, not the same amount kind of for everyone.
If you're only focusing on one, we can go with the third option, right? We can keep the other two active, but not like really active, not equally.
I think that's what you guys were talking about with the like seed one only increasing. Like we don't need to really put in too much like crazy effort in anything, just in the sense of like the marketing and publicity type stuff. And then focus more on the other two with a little bit more focus on rally things.
One thing difficult about
Just focus on rally or.
What do you?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, I don't know if we're focusing on just one. I think we're going to focus on all three. It's just the level of how much effort and resources are going to be put in from each one.
This is
Like
I
the
think
focus
it's hard
should be
how to-
proportionate to their impact.
Yeah.
Like how much
Yeah.
impact they are putting. Yeah.
another thing to mention too, like it says here by 2011 they had built their 2000th playground. So if we do like the seed through a website, you know, 2011 a lot less people were online back then as well. I feel like it's kind of unfair for us to like, you know, make our decision based off of like I was gonna mention like COVID too, like to kind of discredit like rally, but I think it'd be unfair to be like, oh well, like if we rely a lot on like partnerships, for example, like with you know, cities and individuals, like, you know, like moving forward into COVID. But like I think that's kind of unfair. I don't know if like you guys agree with that or not, but I think it would be unfair to be like making the decision for what's going on right now here by using something like these people wouldn't even know about. But I mean, I guess it's, since I already have it brought up too, like if we rely so much on like partnerships with like, especially governments too, who are like prone to being cautious and like need to be cautious too. You know, like most of their playgrounds were built around like early 2000s, early 2010s. Their average life is 15 years. Like you had 15 years under that. We're like right about now. Some of them might even have been around like 2020, like 2021 when COVID was going on, which might kind of urge governments to like not maintain it. But again, like I don't think that is like important to even like consider right now.
Well, I do think that that is included in maybe the efforts that we're trying to have, because it would remove that dependency on only one form of funding or only one form of support. So I think it is relevant. I think it's a great point to bring up, but I think that mitigating that risk through this the process that we have here, scaling up fees when trying to remove those risks, is definitely important. That's why I at least think that we should scale up the seed a little bit with increasing that marketing and publicity efforts. That would allow us to not have to focus solely on the government and their efforts, because you're right, it can be risky, it can deteriorate over time, and it would lose, you know, the importance when it shouldn't, causing it to be more a long-term effect instead of a short-term right now effect.
do we have to walk or something?
The best option, I think, if we have to choose one, would be the second one. I did think that we were making maybe our own strategy using that. So I did write that down, like what each program or what each program would, we would scale up on. But, so I guess my vote would either be strategy 2 or the own strategy, or like our own created strategy right now.
I agree with her, like we can go with option 2 and we can just like focus on the more like the most important or like more, like we can more focus on the most important part and then we can like less focus on the least one. So like just proportioning our focus on the impactful components, like how much impact they are giving. So we can choose the second one. I think so.
I agree with that.
No, I choose you.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I-
second, yes, second strategy.
So what we would be focusing on, like rally or lead or seed?
We will be focusing on all, but we have to focus, like we have to divide our focus between all three, like which is giving more results or outcomes. For example, like rally is giving the most important, like most outcome for the organization, KaBoom. So we will be putting more focus on rally, and then we will be least focusing on seed, because for the long run it will not be giving us more outcomes, and it will be like what can we say? I have out of words.
Last of the thing.
Yeah, the seed one.
Oh, the seed, it allows them to increase their visibility, to increase their donation and their financial efforts.
Yes.
While, just increasing their marketing, publicity efforts and incentivizing more financial support.
Okay, so we need to put seed,
No.
Rally.
rally, and then seed, and then lead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, if you want to rank them, rally 1, lead 2nd, seed 3rd.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like we've come to our decision. Like, is everybody good with that? Does anybody have anything else to say? Okay.
Thank you. Thanks everyone.